So what do you want to know from me?
How you came to Baba and some of the things that gave you the conviction. I mean, we know Baba gave you the conviction, but some of the things that helped that conviction.
Of course, I did not come to Baba. This is a fact. He came to me in the year 1952 when after coming from West, he was giving mass darshan in India in different places. And I was in Nagpur at that time. I was a student there in the university. I was doing my MA final in public administration. I was also doing research work for MSc chemistry, and I was doing LLB. So one day before he went there, I just a thought came in my mind that from morning to evening I just attend classes, different classes for LLB, for MSc, for MA, from morning to evening continuously. So what I would do after my studies, and that thought, of course, changed the whole attitude. And then I just thought, that it would be good for me to have some guide. So for guide, of course, I went to different places. There also I went to Ramakrishna Paramahansa's ashram there in Nagpur. But I did not have any peace there. Then I wrote a letter to Rishikesh, Haridwar, northern India, and informing to one Swami that I just want some guidance. And I received a reply from there that you come here on such and such date. In the meantime, what happened? I read in newspaper that Meher Baba was going there to give his darshan. I thought that Meher Baba was going. I never heard about him. Who is he? I don't know. I would go to Rishikesh. I did not know about that Swami also, but this much I knew that there are so many Swamis and saints there, good place. So I thought that I must go there. But in the meantime, a thought came in my mind that if I go there and if that Swami would ask me to stay there permanently, so I must go with that preparation that I may stay there for long. So I thought that I must, because I was in the hostel there in Nagpur, I thought that I must go home and inform my people that I am leaving for good. In the meantime, it so happened, my brother-in-law, he was in another place. He was the follower of Tajuddin Baba. And he would go to his tomb very frequently. But he knew that I was not interested, so he never asked me to go along with him to the tomb. But this time when he came to me, he said that I am going there, you come along with me. I said, you go. I am not interested, go there. But he insisted and I went along with him. He took flowers and sweets and everything, And because I was not interested, I did not take anything. I went there. Of course, there were many people who were offering flowers and fruits and everything, and they would bow down. And I was standing there in the corner like this, indifferent, And they looked at me. They did not like my attitude. So I thought that if I would bow down there, so what was wrong in that? I must also do in order to please them. So I did. And I never thought of it, but just a voice came from my heart that if you are real, show me the way. And just after that, I read in newspaper that Meher Baba was coming. But then I thought that Meher Baba, I don't know him. I would go home and clear everything, come back and go to Rishikesh. So he was to come on certain date, and I left Nagpur, went home. After a week when I returned, again I read in newspaper that Meher Baba was coming. I said, what happened to this man? He was to come on certain date. I missed that date. Again, I thought that there must be some mistake, So I took out the old newspapers, and I saw, yes, it was there. I said, if he is coming, so let us go for darshan, What is the harm? But I must go to Rishikesh, northern India. So Baba went to some other place where my brother-in-law was living, staying, 26 miles from Nagpur. I went there, So I went to the place where Baba was giving darshan. and there was a big crowd, about 25,000 people were there, and they had arranged in such a way that people should sit in a queue and crawl, So I went there and I don't know what happened to me. I also sat there in the dust. And many people knew me because it was the place of my brother-in-law, and he was the president of municipality there. So, and he was one of the members of the reception committee. So one of them came to me and he said, "What are you doing? Why are you sitting here? After this program would be over, we would take him to Baba there. Why are you sitting here in the sun?" I said, "Please don't disturb me." And so he left me. And I was crawling, and observing Baba. He was smiling at someone. He would just give a pat to someone, and he would distribute prasad. And I was observing. When I reached him, I stood up. That mischievous chicken did not look at me. He just gave me prasad like this, and he was looking at other side. But I don't know what happened to me. I became so mad that he gave me one banana. Without peeling out the skin, I ate the whole banana.
Skin too? You ate the skin?
No, whole banana I ate.
You mean the peel?
I did not peel out.
You ate the whole thing?
The whole thing. Now, I just thought, to have some interview. So there were many people, and I asked them whether you are with Baba. They said, no, we have come from this place, that place. And then, what do you want? I said, I just want to have an interview with Baba. Interview is not possible. No, only darshan. Darshan. I wanted to say something to him, and when I approached to him, he just gave me banana like this, did not look at it. So, with great difficulty here and there, I was moving and inquiring whether it would be possible to have an interview with Baba. But nobody, of course, tried for me, nothing, But there was one man from Andhra. He had also come for Baba's darshan along with his son. So I asked him whether you are with Baba. He said, no, I have come from Andhra to be with Baba for a day. So what do you want? I said, I just want to have an interview with Baba. He said, it is not possible. I'm also quite new here. But if you come to Andhra, he's going to Andhra. If you come, then I will try to arrange your interview. So I forgot about Rishikesh, northern India, and I determined to go to Andhra. But by that time, I was just trying. There was one Mandi member, his name was Sawa Kotwal. He was with Baba. But I approached him. So he said, no, interview is not possible. You write a letter to Sri Adiki Irani Kings Road, Ahmednagar. I was there, Baba was there. And he said to me that you write a letter to Adiki Irani Kings Road, Ahmednagar, and request him to fix the interview. So I said, Baba is here. This man suggests me to write to Adiki Irani Kings Road, Ahmednagar. Anyway, I tried my best, but I could not get an interview. The next day, again I went for darshan, and the same thing happened. He did not look at me and gave me banana like this. No, but the next day in the morning, it so happened, Baba was in Dak Bungalow. So I was very restless. The whole night I was restless. In the morning when I went there was one gate man from some place. He did not know me. He said, no, nobody can go inside. So he did not allow me. Then I went to the bus station, and there that very man whom I met the other day, the previous day, he was going to Andhra along with his son. So he said to me that my son, of course, wants Baba's garland. And what to do? Baba has asked me not to see him again here. So I said, now it is a chance for me. I must take an advantage, So I told him that you just give me a note, and I will go there and bring the garland. So he wrote. Again I went there, and the same man said, no, you can't go inside, give me the note. So I gave him, and he brought the garland. When he brought the garland, I just took the garland. It was of rose, the petals would fall on the road, and the petals I would pick up and eat, at that time I had become so mad, I don't know why. But then, it so happened, I gave that garland to him, and he said, "You come to Andhra, and I will try to arrange your interview with Baba." I said, "All right." So the next day when I went to Baba, where he was giving darshan, the same thing, 25 to 30,000 people, big crowd. I was just crawling, and when I reached him, he did not look at me and gave me prasad like this. And I became more restless. The third day he went to Nagpur and I followed him. With great difficulty, of course, when he was giving darshan, I went there. With great difficulty, I found one man, and he would go from place to place and give out Baba's messages. So he said, "What do you want? Why do you want to see Baba?" I said, "I want to be with him. What are you doing?" And I told him everything. He took my interview. So he went to Baba, and Baba said, "All right, ask him to come to me at the place of residence." So I went there. When I went there, of course, few persons were sitting there. And Baba asked me, "What do you want?"
Should I get my tape recorder on?
Hmm?
Should I get my tape recorder on?
All right, if you want. Or some other incident, small incidents, I will give you.
Okay, is this a good one to get? I couldn't waste it.
Because I will give you another incident, a small one.
Okay, all right, just go ahead.
So it so happened, Baba asked me, "What do you want?" I said, "I want to be with you all the time." He said, "What are you doing?" And I told him that I am studying here. So will you leave everything? I said, "Yes." So will you obey me 100%? Really speaking, I did not know what was obedience at that time, but I said yes. So there was one man sitting there. He said, "Baba, he must know what is obedience." So Baba said, "He knows better than what you do," and he kept quiet. Then Baba said, "All right, let me test. Will you obey me 100%? I said, "Yes." So he said, "If I ask you to become naked and go for begging, will you do this?" I said, "Yes." So Baba said, "Start." Like a mad, I was taking out my clothes. So he said, "Sit down." Then again Baba asked me that, "Will you obey me 100%? I said, "Yes." So he said, "Now I give order. Just listen to me. You complete your examination, appear for the examination, and whenever, as soon as you finish your examination, come to me wherever I am." So after 2 months, of course, my examination, I appeared for the examination, and the examination was over, and I joined him in Mussorie, Dehra Dun, northern India. So this is the story. And since that time, of course, I am with him. Now you can take down the small incident I am giving.
Wait just a second. It's going to stop. I'm going to have to change the tape. Go.
Spontaneous.
All right. So when I reached there, of course, the first order Baba gave me, it was really a very, very difficult order for me to obey. So he said that at 9 o'clock every day in the night, you go to each room and tell the mandali members that, "You fool, keep silence after 9. And there were, Gustadji, Pendu, Eruch, Vishnu Master, Dr. Nilu, Dr. Donkin. They were there, I was quite new. So when the time was approaching, I was rather perspiring. But anyway, it was Baba's order, So first room, of course, in the room, Eruch, Pendu, Vishnu and Dr. Nilu were there. So I went there and I said, "You fool, keep silence after 9. So they said, "Yes, sir." And I was very happy, Second room, Gustadji, he was already observing silence. So there was no question of observing silence after 9. So I said to him, "You fool, keep silence after 9. And he said, he did not say anything. He laughed, Then I went to Dr. Donkin, and same thing I repeated. And he said, "Yes, sir." And the fourth room, Kekobad was there, and 9 o'clock was the time for his prayer. So his room was closed, and before Baba's picture, he was praying silently without making any noise. So I said, I opened the door, went inside, and I said, "You fool, keep silence after 9." And he looked at me, with grave face like this, and I left immediately. The next day, same thing happened. And he was thinking this man has come quite new here. And I did not make any noise. I don't make any noise. I pray. And every day he comes and tells me, "You fool, keep silence after 9." What type of man he is? So the third night when I went to him and I said to him, "You fool, keep silence after 9." He got very much upset, because I was disturbing him in his prayer. So he did not like it. So fourth day he went to Baba and he said to Baba that this man, of course, he does not know anything. At 9 o'clock it is my prayer time. You have given me this time. So I pray and he comes to me and he says that, "You fool, keep silence after 9. He disturbs me." So Baba said, "You stop now." So I stopped. Now, I'm just telling you about selfless service. This incident, of course, it is very, very important incident. In, I think, 1964, there was famine in one of the states of India called Bihar. And every day in newspaper, we would read that there were so many people who were starving. And I would feel very bad about it, that just see those people, at least here we have rice and dal every day, and those people, they are starving. After a few days, I read in newspaper that one of the capitalists of India, he opened free kitchen there, and he would supply free food to those who were starving. I was very happy, to read that. And I just thought, God has given him wealth, but that man knows how to utilize the wealth which God has given him. He is doing selfless service. In the night, I was night watchman. When I went to Baba, I was pressing his feet, and all of a sudden that thought came in my mind that man really, he's very good. He's doing selfless service. And Baba said, "What are you thinking?" I said, "Nothing." "So tell me. I said, "I'm just thinking about the plight of those people there in Bihar. They were starving. It is good that man has opened free kitchen there. He is really doing selfless service." Baba said to me, "Selfless service? He is doing most selfish service." I said, "Selfish? How can it be?" Baba said, "He is doing good work, but not selfless service." So I said, "But he is giving free food to so many who were starving." Baba said, "You don't understand. That man, what is the motive behind it? The motive behind is that people should know, he should become popular, and he thinks that he is doing something very great. So he is becoming very popular. Every day his name comes in the newspaper. So he is doing for the sake of name and fame. At the same time, there is another motive. If he would do this charity, then of course he would get deduction in income tax. So with this motive he is doing. But here you are serving me, and without any motive, out of love you are serving me. And in me, the whole universe is there. So when you are serving me, you are serving the whole universe. That man, if he gives the whole wealth, distribute the whole wealth, he cannot serve the whole universe. It is not possible for him. But here you are, without motive, out of love, you are serving me, and through me you are serving the whole universe. So this service is selfless service. That service is not selfless service. It is a good service, no doubt, but he is bound by that, while what you are doing, you are free. So this is the difference between his service and your service. Did you get it, Bill?
Yes.
So if you serve others, serve Baba in them. Serve Baba in them. If you think that I am serving these people, poor people, no. We are nobody to serve anyone. But if we serve the Lord in them, that is real service, that is selfless service. Then we forget about all the individuals. Only we serve Him. And when we serve Him, of course, We will serve with love, honestly, sincerely we will serve him. So the real service, the selfless service is that we must serve our Lord in others. That's why Baba said that he is doing most selfish service. He is bound by that, though it is a good work. Now, some other incidents are I should stop. What do you think?
Keep going.
All right, I will obey you. We were in Satara in 1956, and I was a night watchman. So every evening when I would go to Baba, he would tell me, he would give me 3 instructions: keep awake, not to move, and not to make any noise. 3 instructions every evening he would repeat. One evening when I went to him, he repeated these instructions 4 times, 5 times, and very seriously. And at that time, before the second accident, he would ask the night watchman to sit outside the room. And when I would go out, I would keep the door closed, because it was Baba's order that when he would retire, the doors and windows and ventilators, everything would be closed. And the room in summer, it would become just like one. Very hot, very difficult to be in Baba's room during night. So that day when he repeated these instructions and he asked me to go and sit outside, so I went outside and sat there. Every night, after say 15 minutes, 20 minutes, he would clap and I would go inside. And that was the relief. That night particularly, he did not clap and I was sitting like a statue because the instruction was not to move. So I was just sitting like this, and there were plenty of mosquitoes. They were biting, but even mosquitoes, of course, you cannot do like this. Not to move means not to move, just like a statue. 15 minutes, 20 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 1.5 hours, 2 hours. I became so stiff and mosquitoes were biting, And I was just concentrating when Baba would clap and I would go inside. At least that was the relief, But he did not do that. After 2.5 hours, he was snoring. He started snoring. I thought, now this is the chance, I must at least change my position. I had become very stiff, So when he started snoring, I just started lifting my leg like this, without any noise, nothing. As soon as I started lifting my leg, he clapped. And I went inside. And he said, why did you move? My God, I said, wonderstruck, He was snoring. The room was closed. There was no noise. And he says that, why did you move? So I could not say anything. So he said, when I sleep, I see the whole universe. Can I not see you who is so near me? So that was his sleep, Always conscious, always conscious. Then another incident. This incident is also very important, for you all. It was in the year 1968, and at that time Baba was in seclusion, and there was that restriction that nobody should write to Baba. But when Baba would be in seclusion, his lovers would go from place to place, and they would new ones they would come in contact, and they would write to Baba, And he was so kind that after his seclusion work, he would ask us to read out those letters which we would receive. I was in charge of Hindi correspondence. So once it so happened that for a week I did not get any chance to read out those letters which I had received. On 8th day after his seclusion work, when he called us, I was there. Bundle of letters were there. That bundle was there. So he looked at me and he said, today I have got headache, You reply. And immediately a thought came in my mind that what sort of God he is. His lovers are really great. They don't want anything material or spiritual from him. They want his darshan. So he says, no darshan. Then they expect a few loving words directly from him. So he says, you reply. Of course, I did not say anything. and he did not ask me. Then he retired and I followed him. So as soon as I went to him, he asked me, how many letters did you write today? And I said, not a single letter, Baba. He said, why? I said, where was the time? I was with you there. When you retired, I followed you. Where was the time? He said, yes, there was no time. But tell me the truth. What were you thinking? And I said, nothing. But he said, tell me the truth. I said, when you asked me to reply, a thought came in my mind. He was very anxious, What thought? What thought? I said, nothing, just a thought came in my mind. Just tell me. I said, a thought came in my mind that what sort of God you are. Your lovers are really great. They don't want anything material or spiritual from you. Because every letter, those letters which I received, there was nothing, only darshan or few loving words from you. So, but you say no darshan. Then when they expect a few loving words from you, you say, you reply. He said, yes, my lovers are really great, no doubt about it. But what do you mean by this? Do you know what I am doing for them? You are with me since so many years and you don't understand. He said, what I am doing for them, you have no idea. If they come and see me, what they will see? This physical form, what is there? This is the real thing. That means seclusion. This was the sign of his seclusion work. This is the real thing. I am giving them, and you will witness with your own eyes what will happen to them who have not seen me physically. So, and this incident, I always remember when I see different faces here, There are so many who just think, we did not see Baba physically, but all the time they were there, and because Baba has worked for them, they are here. There is no other go. It is not we who come to Baba, but it is He who comes to us. It is because of His work. He has done the work for you all, that's why you are here. So, every animate or inanimate, it is always with him. But when particularly he would work for the individuals, that work is quite different. That universal work is quite different. And this special work is quite different. Special work for certain individuals. And universal work, of course, it is for every animate and inanimate. So because of his work, you are all here. And though physically, of course, everybody thinks that physically we did not see him, but that is not the thing. He worked for you all. You were with him when he was working, and this is the result.
What was Baba's sign again?
For seclusion work? For seclusion work, this was the sign. Here, when Baba would work here, he would just go on doing like this, He would pound his thighs like this, and both the thighs had become like stone, very hard, And I tell you, I still remember that when Baba would work here and he completed his work, but he said that there is some tail, left behind. So that work, the tail of the work I must finish, So when he would go in his room, he would work there. I would be there, but he would allow me inside when he would work. So then later on, when because of the spasm, he asked me to just pound like this, and I found that the legs, the thighs had become like stone, So I would not have that heart to do it hard. So, but he would want me to do that, and anyhow I had to obey. But then, when he would find difficulty in just sitting, so he would do his work while lying down, and then he asked me to pound here, And it was too much for me. It was too much for me. So one day, very slowly, when I begin like this, so he started, and that was, I could not bear that sight. So then, whatever he wanted me, I had to do. So up to 30th of January, he worked. So that work was finished on 30th January, and on 31st January, he dropped his body.
Were you with him on the 30th?
All the time here. Those who were here, they were there.
Night watch also?
Night watch, yes, I was there.
Did he say something about finishing?
No, nothing, that on 30th of January, when he finished his work, that night I found that from 7 to 9, he had a very good sleep, 2 hours for the first time. And I was very, very happy that today at least Baba got some rest, 2 hours continuously. I was very happy. And then after 9, then again spasm after spasm started, and when the spasm would come, his body would lift like this, and he would say that I feel as if, every bone of my body is just breaking into pieces, So he told us, and then we were there in the night. But that particular night, so many times Baba had said that I am not this body, remember this. But twice that night he told me, remember this, I am not this body. And it had so much impact on me. So many times he has told, but that particular night when he repeated twice that remember this, I am not this body. So still, that impact is still in me. It was so forceful when he said that remember this, I am not this body. Twice he repeated that night. Some other. Or should I stop? I will obey you, whatever you say.
Me?
Yes.
Go on.
All right. If you say go on, I will go on. There is one very good incident, it happened in 1959, I think. So we were in Guru Prasad, Pune, and Baba would give me writing work, so much writing work that I was feeling fed up, So I wanted to avoid, but he would give me writing work mostly. So he told me that you have to write one book, I said, but Baba, where is the time for me to write? Correspondence is there. When you come here, I am with you, and when you retire, I follow you there. Where is the time for me? So he said, when we will go to Guru Prasad, I will give you 1 hour. You come to me at 3 o'clock. But there, you come to me at 4 o'clock. So 1 hour I give. Very generous, 1 hour for writing work. So anyway, I said, so the first day, Meherji, he was in Pune. So Baba told him that from 3 to 4, you come to me. And he said, now you are free for 1 hour. First day, when Meherji went there, I thought that because I had to prepare for this, so I was just thinking and I was sitting outside on I did not go to my room. After half an hour, I found after half an hour, I found that Meherji came out. And when he came out, I was sitting there, he did not tell me anything. He went to Eruch. So I thought that he must have brought some message for Eruch. That's why he went to him. So I was sitting there. Within 2 minutes, Baba started clapping. And Kher went running. He said, where is Bhau? And she said, she came running to me. And why are you sitting here? Baba is waiting for you. So I went there. And he said, why did you not come? I said, but you had asked me to come at 4 o'clock. So Meherji did not tell you? I said, no. Call him. So I called him. Did you not tell him? He said, I forgot. But he would have asked me. I said, yes. Why did you not ask him? Why did you not ask him? So, it was my mistake that I did not ask him. Anyway, Baba said that I was just waiting for you and you did not come. You don't pay attention. So many things, So all right, I kept quiet. But then, since that day, I did not write. I would be there waiting for the call, Anytime when Meherji would go, I would just wait for him. Then we came down. 3 months we were there at Guru Prasad. Then we came down here. So here, Rano's veranda, that side. So Baba would call me at 3 o'clock. And I would go and sit there in the veranda. But actually he would call me in the room at 5 o'clock. So I would just go and sit there. And there was lot of correspondence, so many things to attend. And I would just go and sit there for 2 hours, So it went on and on. And he did not ask me. One day after many months, he told me to write a letter, he gave instructions. And then he retired and I followed him. I was just sitting there and I was thinking, I'm just sitting here without any work. And why, when Baba calls me at 5 o'clock, why does he ask me to sit here for 2 hours? That thought was going on in my mind. Then at 5 o'clock he called me. I went inside. He said, did you write that letter? I said, no. He said, why? I said, I was just sitting there without work. You call me and I sit there without work. He said, without work you sit there? I said, yes, I don't do anything. How unfortunate you are, he said. You just go to Himalaya and see there, the people, they sleep on nails, so that they may not get sleep. And they just remember me, they call me, but I don't go and see them. And here you are, you come here, you sit on the chair and wait for my call. And after 2 hours, I call you. The whole life, they call me and I don't go there. And they sleep on the nail so that they may not get sleep, They may remain awake, that's why they sleep on the nail. And here you sit on the chair and wait for my call. And after 2 hours, every day I call you, still you say that you sit there without work. To wait for my call, it is not a work. It is the most important work to wait for my call, he said. And you think that you just sit there without work. Again?
Yeah.
Go on.
I'll just leave it on.
All right. In 1957, we were here, and Gustadji, just before he died, Baba would call him every day and ask him to sit near him. And Baba would give him some sweets, and he would eat. One day Baba came in the morning and he said to me that bring plate for Gustadji. So I brought plate, and he gave him some sweets. And then he said to me that there is one important letter, urgent, you write immediately and send it with the boy to Ahmednagar. It is very urgent, go and write. So I went in my room, took in a letter and started writing. Hardly I wrote 2 lines and he clapped and I was called, So I went to him. Other mandali members were sitting there, but he called me for that. By that time, Gustadji, a piece of sweet fell down. He said, just clean it. Ants will come, it is not good. Just clean it immediately. So I cleaned. And then he said, go, write. That is very important letter, urgent letter. You just write. Go and write. So again I went. After 2 minutes, again he clapped and called me. And I was thinking there are so many sitting there. And he calls me and he says that it is very urgent and important. So I went there. He said, Gustadji wants a glass of water. So I brought 1 glass of water. He said, go and write. So again I went, In the meantime, again a piece of sweet, it fell down. And he called me. So by this time, I got irritated inside. Of course, I did not express. He said, clean it. So I cleaned. But I was very much irritated. This old man sitting here eating, playing mischief, doing nothing. So many thoughts came in my mind. So he said, did you complete that letter? Finish that letter? I said, where is the time? Every 2 minutes you call me and here this old man is playing mischief. So Baba said, it means that you are doing some work and he is not doing. Of course, you obey me 100%. But your obedience does not give me any pleasure. Here is the man, of course, he knows that I feel pleased. That's why he is doing this. So his obedience, of course, he pleases me. While you also obey me 100%, but your obedience does not give me pleasure. His obedience gives me pleasure. So this is the difference between you and him. Did you get it? This is the difference. He is obeying, you are obeying. You are obeying 100%, he is obeying 100%. But his obedience gives me pleasure, your obedience does not give me pleasure.
Attitude.
Then yes, of course I followed, Yes. That was the fact, Whatever he says, we must feel pleased and obey him. So that thought came in my mind that this old man doing nothing, playing mischief, and he does not allow me to work. So Baba said, this is the difference between his obedience and your obedience. Now,
Well, there's still time before tea.
I will continue, but
Okay. Oh yeah, continue. I'm really into it. I'm not going anywhere.
all right.
Do you want a glass of water, Bhau?
I will have afterwards. No. Here, of course, this is the most important incident. Of course, all the incidents are important, but each incident, has got different meaning. So, I would always be with Baba during night, and sometimes, he would get up and he would say, "Give me something to eat." And when Baba would be in his room, during night, there was no electricity.
This is at Meherazad here?
Here at Meherazad. So there was no electricity at that time. So we would put the lamp outside the window. But when Baba would take rest, I had to close the window. And when Baba would get up, I would open it. So Baba got up, he said, "Give me something to eat, So there was chocolate box, I brought that box, took out the lid, put it on the bed, and I went to open the window. By that time, Baba was just doing like this, that lid fell down and stuck him here. And he said that, "What type of man you are so careless, It struck me now, horrible, so much pain, Now it is not possible for me to take rest. You are so careless. Why, whether you have come to kill me or to serve me, so many things, And I also realized that it was my mistake. It was my mistake. But then he scolded me for 2 hours. And I kept quiet. He said, "Now it is not possible for me to take rest, He said, but anyhow, I just try, He went to bed. After 5 minutes, "Oh, it is too much, I can't bear, You are useless. Why did you come to me, You are giving me so much suffering. What is this? And nonsense. So many things, After half an hour again, he said, "I try again, But 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, again he started scolding. By that time, now the mind started working. I said, "Baba says that he suffers universally. He takes burden of the whole universe. Here this small lid, it struck him. What is there? Nothing. And he says that I can't bear and it gives me so much suffering and it is unbearable. What is this?" So whatever is there, universal suffering, it is just in words, there is nothing, When he cannot bear this much, how can he suffer universally? That mind started working, So Baba said to me, "Come here, sit down." So I also got upset, irritated. I said, "I am all right." He said, "Come, sit down." So I obeyed, I sat near him. He said, "What do you take me for?" I said, "You are my master." "And who are you?" So I said, "I am your slave." "What is the duty of the slave?" So I said, "To please the master." "Do you please me?" I said, "I try, but I don't feel pleased." "Your duty is to please me. Now, you have accepted me as your master. So I have also accepted you as my slave. So it is my duty, it is your duty to serve me. And it is my duty to see that my slave serves me properly. because I have taken upon the responsibility. You are my slave, I have accepted. So it is my duty. Your duty is to serve me, to please me. And my duty is to see whether my slave serves me properly or not. Whether he is careful in serving me, whether he serves me with all love. So it is my duty because I have accepted you as your slave. And because of this responsibility, I see that you should not become careless. If the whole Himalaya falls down on me, what is there for me? Nothing. But because I have taken this responsibility, I have accepted you as my slave. It is my responsibility that I should see that you serve me properly. And because of this responsibility, though this lid struck me here, this pain, whatever is there, because of this carelessness, I suffer too much. And this pain is more than my universal suffering, because I don't want that my... So he said, because I have accepted you as my slave, and you have accepted me as my master, as your master, so it is your duty to serve me, and it is my duty to see that my slave serves me properly. And because of that, because of this relationship, I feel so much pain, and it is more than my universal suffering. I don't want that my slave should be careless, and because of that I suffer. Otherwise, what care I have if the whole Himalaya falls down on me? So this is why he was telling me all this. It is because of the responsibility, and we just see even if he accept any individual, how much burden that individual puts on him. He has to be very careful about that individual. If anybody does anything, in the world, what he has to do with that. But when this relationship is maintained between the master and the lover, when he accepts, that means he has to take the whole burden upon himself. And this is the reason why he was feeling so much pain. Another one? All right. It was in the year 1957. We had just come here from Satara. And one day, of course, there was one boy, his name was Krishna. He was also attending to Baba during night. But then when we were at Satara, Baba asked him to go home. So he went away. So one day, when I went to Baba at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, he said that I have to send a very urgent telegram to Krishna. Do you know his address? I said, I don't know his address, but I have heard that he is in Bombay. So Baba said, do one thing. You send the telegram to the President Avatar Meherazad, Bombay Center, and he will give the telegram to him. But it is very urgent, you just take down. So I took down, he dictated, I am with you, don't worry. And he said, go and immediately send it. So from Baba's room, I came in my room. In the meantime, what did I find? That boy who would take mail to Ahmednagar, he had left. So I returned. Baba said, did you send the telegram? I said, no, Baba. He said, why? I said, that boy had already left. He said, how can I rely upon you? How can I trust you? I told you that this was very, very urgent and important. Why did you not send with another boy? And he scolded me. And then afterwards he said, just tore it. So he was so irritated that he himself tore it into pieces, And he started scolding. After some time he said, all right, take down another telegram, I am with you, I love you, don't worry. Now send it with another boy. I came here, The other boy, he had left for milk. He had gone to bring milk from some village, And again I returned, and it was too much, Baba got so much upset. He said, when the other boy was not there, why did you not send this telegram through Aloba? When I had told you that it was so urgent, so important, why did you not do that? And he scolded like anything, tore another telegram into pieces, and he was restless. 2 hours he was restless, Now, afterwards he said, give me a glass of syrup. So I gave him a glass of syrup. He sipped a little, and gave me the glass, and I drank it. But then I thought that there must be something. Why Baba got so upset? There must be something behind it. I wrote down the date and time and everything. After 2 months, we went to Pune. Dada Vaswani, that Saint Mira High School, he had invited Baba. So we went there, and that boy Krishna had come. So I said, "Where are you, Krishna?" He said, "I am in Bombay. What are you doing?" He said, "With great difficulty, I got a job." So when did you come there? He said, "I came 3-4 months before." So then what were you doing? He said, "Please don't ask me. Don't ask me." I said, "You tell me what were you doing?" He said, "I was in a very bad plight, no job, nothing, no money. I was just starving." Then what happened? "Please don't ask me." I said, "You tell me what happened. The whole thing you must tell me." He said, "One day, I got so much disappointed that I went to a mountain." "And what did you do?" So he said, "I wanted to commit suicide, I wanted to jump. And as soon as I wanted to jump, I was about to jump, Baba appeared there and I returned." "Do you remember the date?" He said, "Yes, I remember." "And the time?" The time he gave, that was the time when Baba called a glass of syrup, when he returned, and he took a little sip and gave to me. So he saved him. He saved him in this way. So though, it would appear as if, Baba was physically here, his work would go on here and there and he would save so many. There is another, Krishna, of course, he was with Baba, But there is another incident, very good incident, and how Baba would save others, In 1938, Baba was in Panchgani. And at that time, Chhagan master was keeping night watch. So one night, Baba said, "Chhagan, I want a good boy, good looking boy, energetic, healthy, Why don't you go in the morning and bring a good boy, Find out by evening you return, but bring a good boy tomorrow." So Chhagan master left in the morning, and he went round here and there, could not find a good boy, So he went to another village, a town, and he was searching but could not find. Then he went to a restaurant, and there, one boy was working there, good looking, very energetic. So Chhagan master thought, Baba would like this boy very much. So he said, "What are you doing here?" He said, "I am a servant, How much pay do you get every month?" He said, 20 rupees and food." And Chhagan master said, "If I give 40 rupees and food, will you come with me?" He said, "No, you ask my proprietor." So Chhagan went to his proprietor. He said, "Why should I give this boy? He's working very well." No. But anyway, Chhagan, of course, persuaded him and he agreed. And by evening, Chhagan master brought that boy to Baba. Now, when that boy came, Baba looked at him. "Oh, Chhagan, you did a nice job, very good boy, And Chhagan was very happy. But then Baba looked, from head to foot, and there was a wound here. And Baba said to Chhagan, "Chhagan, did you not see this? I had asked you to bring a healthy boy. He is not healthy. Did you not see it?" And Chhagan was wonderstruck, because he did not see there. Then Baba said, "All right, do one thing." Now the doctors were there in Panchgani, but Baba said to Chhagan, "All right, do one thing. Take this boy to Meherazad and ask Padri to treat him. And when he gets well, ask him to send him back to Panchgani. But while going to Meherazad from Panchgani, you get down at Pune and see Sadasiv Patel, one of the oldest disciples of Baba, and tell him that I am very happy with him. And then you go to Meherazad." So Chhagan, brought that boy, got down at Pune and went to see Sadasiv Patel. At that time, there were no, this tap water was not there. From the well, they would fetch water. So there was a well in front of Sadasiv Patel's home. And the women, they were fetching water. And Chhagan was going along with that boy. And what he finds, one woman, my Hamid, crying, and she ran after that boy. My Hamid, and she embraced and cried and cried, and Chhagan, of course, could not understand what it was. And other women surrounded there, and Hamid, they all started crying, So Chhagan went to the to Sadashiv Patel, and he told him that such and such thing has happened here. Baba had asked me to take this boy to Meherazad, and I don't know what is this. So Sadashiv Patel came, and he inquired, and they came to know that that boy was missing since 5 years. He was the only son of the parents, and the parents, day and night they were crying and praying to God, oh God, just send our son back, oh God. And they tried to find out, searched here and there, but they could not find him. And here, Baba sends the boy for this purpose. And here, because, there was no work, but he says that you see Sadashiv Patel and tell him that I am happy with him. There was no reason, There were doctors also at Panjgani. He could have asked them to treat that boy. But he said, you take this boy to Meherazad and see Sadashiv Patel. And this happened, So day and night they were crying and praying to God, oh Allah, please send our Hamid back. And here Baba sends him back. Continue.
You got more?
No end, I tell you.
The end? No end? No.
If you want, then I will
Keep
continue.
going.
All right. It was in the year 1954. Baba was giving darshan in Andhra. So he would move from place to place, and there would be, a big crowd, 50,000, 60,000, 80,000 people would come for his darshan. So in one of the places in Andhra called Masulipatam, Baba was giving his darshan. So up to evening, it went on, and it was dark, when the program was over, and Baba was about to go to his residence. He came near the car, and then, he started walking zigzag here and there, as if he knew the roads and everything there, And we followed him. When we went there, what happened, just near the seashore, there was one hut, temporary hut, and one old man, he was standing there. No lamp very, very poor. There was no lamp, nothing, And Baba went to that hut, sat there, called that old man to sit near him. No exchange, nothing. He did not ask anything. He was with him for 5 minutes and he left. Then we thought that why Baba went there, nobody told him about that man. What was the reason? And then, we came to know that that man belonged to the lowest caste. And there was caste system in Andhra. So, because he belonged to the lowest caste, they would not cross even the shadow of that man. So that man whole day he was just thinking, how unfortunate I am that God has come here and thousands of people are taking his darshan, and how unfortunate I am that I cannot go there, I cannot even see him from a distance, because if anybody would find me going there, and so they would beat me, because they would not even cross the shadow of the lowest class people there in Andhra. So whole day he was just thinking how unfortunate I am. And here Baba goes there and he found he got the best, Baba was with him for 5 minutes. Here, of course, the crowd, people would come, he would just give prasad. Even 1 second was not possible. And here Baba goes to him, sits with him for 5 minutes. And he was so happy that he could not utter a single word, because of the happiness. Could not express a word. Then there is, continue? All right. Then there is another incident, of course. It happened in Hamirpur district, when Baba was giving darshan there. He was also moving from place to place. So there was one place named Inghota. Baba went there and he was giving his darshan. Now what happened? There was a big crowd and people were coming in queue to have his darshan. In the meantime, what we found, one blind boy, very, very handsome, energetic. He was just fumbling in the queue, And one man brought him to Baba. And Baba, of course, simply gave him prasad and he was taken away. Eruch was standing there. And a thought came in his mind, that what sort of Baba is this, Jesus Christ. He performs so many miracles, and here is our Baba, He does not perform any miracle. Why did he not give him sight? That boy is so handsome, so energetic, and so helpless. Why did he not give him sight? That thought came in his mind. And then after the program, Baba left. We were going to another place. On the way, Baba asked the driver to stop the car. He got down from the car. He asked all the mandali members to come to him. He was sitting under a tree. And he said, today I realized God is really infinitely merciful. Today I realized, that God is infinitely merciful. He saved me. And we could not follow, We could not follow. He saved me. He is really infinitely merciful. Today what happened, That boy in the queue, blind boy, he came, so handsome, so energetic. And as soon as he came to me, I just got an urge to give him the sight. But God, so merciful, He saved me. It was not good for him to give sight, But I got that urge to give him. But God, merciful, He saved me and I did not give him that sight. Today I realized that God is infinitely merciful, And when Baba narrated this, Eruch of course laughed and Baba said, why? He said that thought came in my mind that that boy came and Baba did not give him sight. Jesus Christ, He performed so many miracles, and here is our Baba who did not perform any miracle. Why did He not give him sight? So for him, he said, God is so merciful that He saved me. It was not good for that boy to give sight, But I had got that urge to give him, but He saved me. Continue. Now another one. In 1957, we were in Bombay, So, of course, I was keeping night watch near Baba. And one day it so happened, Baba gave instruction to Arnavaz. She had some cold, So Baba asked her, while going to bed, she should take 2 anisine tablets. In the evening, what happened, Arnavaz was very busy. She forgot, Baba retired in his room. And it was very late, 10 o'clock, she remembered that Baba had asked me to take 2 anisine tablets. Now what to do? It is 10 o'clock in the night, and the shops are closed. What should I do? And when she told Eruch, Eruch told her not to worry, I will manage. I was there, Baba was snoring, I was pressing his feet there, Eruch slowly, he opened the door, went to the box, and took 2 anisine tablets, and slowly, without any noise, he went away. And he gave 2 tablets to Arnavaz, How did you bring? What do you think, I can even steal in God's room, What do you think? I brought 2 tablets, take it. And here, as soon as he left, Baba asked me, who had come here? At that time he was snoring, He said, who had come here? I said, Eruch. Why did he come? I said, he took 2 tablets of anisine. Call him. I called him. What did you do here? He said, I took 2 tablets of anisine. All right, go. There he was telling, I could steal from God's room, and God of course did not know that I did so. He was telling there, and he called him just to so that he may know that I know everything. He was telling, oh, I could steal. What is there?
Baba told you that?
No. I was there. Eruch came, took tablets, and he was telling Arnavaz that what do you think, I could steal from God's room. I brought 2 tablets and he did not know. And he was telling there and here, in Baba's room I was there, he asked me who had come here. I said, Eruch. Why? I said, he took some medicine, So he said, call him. And I called. He was boasting there and I called him. So, why did you come here? He said, Arnavaz of course wanted 2 tablets of medicine, so I took away. Baba said, all right, go.
Put a stop to his boast.
He was just thinking, he was telling me that I could steal from God's room. In joke, not actually boasting. He was not boasting, but just a joke. What do you think? I could steal from God's room. Just it was just a joke. And Baba asked me to call him, so he came. Continue. All right. I think I must tell one story about that mischievous chicken.
Mischievous chicken?
Yes.
Chicken?
Should I tell?
Yeah.
What do you think, David?
I think it'll take a while. Maybe you could. I just have a prior to this. Just tell us another incident in Baba's life and then this Swiss chicken at tea time.
This is now tea time. No. That is slow,
Tell us a few more incidents in Baba's life and then. Do you remember any?
No, I remember, but all right. In 1944, 54, there was a big darshan program at Ahmednagar. About 100,000 people had come there for Baba's darshan. And at that time, Westerners were there, many Westerners had come. And also Gadge Maharaj, one of the saints of India, he had come. And others came. Big crowd was there. And Nana Kher, his mother, she came from Nagpur. And all the while she was just thinking, that this time when I go to Baba, I would ask Baba about Nana Kher's marriage, With that intention she came. Now what happened? There was a big crowd and they all came in queue. So she approached Baba. And Baba said that, when did you come? And she told Baba that yesterday I came, how are you? She said, I am all right, I am very happy to have your darshan. Do you want to ask me anything? She said, no Baba, I am so pleased to see you. I have nothing to ask, I just came for darshan. From Nagpur she had come 500 miles to ask Baba about Nana's marriage, whether he should get married or not. All the time she was thinking, and for that very particular purpose she had come, And here Baba asked that, do you want to ask anything? She said, no, I'm so happy to see you, I have nothing to ask, And Baba said, I am also very happy. And she left. In the train, when she was going back, she thought, I completely forgot about this. I went for that purpose. and I did not ask Baba. Then of course she realized, that it was Baba's wish that Nana should not get married. And that's why it happened. And then afterwards she never asked. She never asked. And he remained unmarried. Now,
What? I just want to keep this on stories about Baba's life and then afterwards.
so I should continue such incidents? All right. Now funny incident.
Funny?
Funny. One night, Baba was very, very humorous. Very, very humorous, So one night when I was there, and I told you that sometimes when he would get up, he would say that I am hungry, give me something. So one night he got up, said, I am hungry, give me something. So I brought that chocolate tin and put it there, chocolate box, and I went to open the window. So when Baba would retire, he would put cotton plugs in his ears. So when I went to open the window, by that time, he took out the cotton plugs from his ears, And whenever he would eat, he would also give me. So when I returned, he gave me cotton plugs, and I thought that it was chocolate. So without seeing it, I just ate, And he was laughing and laughing. He said, what type of man he is? What type of man you are? You are eating cotton plugs? What is this? And he was laughing and laughing, The next day he came in the mandali. He said that this man, I never saw such a man. Last night he was eating cotton plug like this, I don't understand what type of man he is. One night, of course, Baba would give me lot of work, writing work and night watch and different things, and I would just feel fed up. So, and sometimes he would scold me. So I was just thinking, now there is no other alternative. I must die. I was pressing his feet, and I was just thinking, I must die. I must die. There is no other alternative. Now it has become too much for me. Baba got up, and he said to me, if you grow, he did not ask me anything. He said, if you grow 70 years old, how will you walk? I said, I want to die, I don't want to live now. He said, yes, but just show me when you grow 70 years old, how will you walk? Just show me. So from that one corner of the room, I would just bend and walk like this, like an old man. And then from there he would say that you come to this corner, and I had to obey, So from this corner to another corner, and then I laughed, and forgot about dying. He did not ask me what are you thinking, but he said that when you grow 70 years old, show me how will you walk. And I had to walk. Then continue.
Yes.
We were at Satara in 1955. There was one couple, The husband was police sub-inspector, and his wife, her name was Hemlata. She loved Baba very much. Now what happened? She had come for Baba's darshan, and she went back. When she went back, she would be in one room. She would close the room, and the whole day she would remember Baba. She would not come out. Now there were children, And the poor husband, of course, he was very happy in the beginning because he thought that his wife loved Baba so much, But now it had become everyday affair. Who would cook for the children, They would go to school. There was nobody to cook for them, nobody to give them clean clothes, nothing, That poor fellow in the morning, he would go. In the evening, he would come back and he would find that the children were hungry. He had to cook the food, So many days, of course, he suffered like this. And he was also happy, that his wife loved Baba so much. But then he wrote a letter to Baba, and he wrote informing that I am very happy that my wife loves so much. But this is my difficulty. Of course, this is not a complaint against her. I am happy, but what should I do now? So Baba, of course, sent a letter and called the couple, along with the children. And they came. When they came, Baba embraced them with all love, and he asked them to sit near him. And he said, Hemlata, his wife, I'm so happy with you. You love me so much. Really, you make me happy. But I am happy in your farm. And then he looked at her husband, But here, I'm miserable in his farm because, I remain neglected. No, you don't take care of me in his farm, I come back in the evening tired, I had to cook food, so I am miserable here. And then he looked at the children, He said, I am very, very miserable here. I remain hungry. Nobody gives me clean clothes, Nobody feeds me. So I am very miserable in them. I am miserable in him, but I am very happy in you. But because you love me. But this love, of course, if you really love me, this love demands that you should make me happy in them also. Then, of course, this is love. I'm really happy in you, in your farm, but I am miserable in their farm. So why not make me happy in their farm too? And then she followed. Then she followed.
One more.
You are very, very greedy. Now, another incident, of course, it took place in 1964. One major from Ahmednagar, along with his wife, came for Baba's darshan. He was Sikh Punjabi, follower of Guru Nanak. So the wife was sitting there, and Baba said to her, Guru Nanak was the perfect master. And the wife says, did you read about him? Baba said, I don't read, I know. So she kept quiet. And the husband said to Baba that, Baba, of course I have heard that there is something in repetition of your name, but I don't understand how to do it. But your name is, everybody says that your name is so powerful, but what does it mean? I don't understand how to repeat it. Baba said to him, do you love your wife? He said, yes, Baba. Do you really love her? He said, yes. And Baba said that suppose, she goes away somewhere for a few months, what will you do? Will you remember her? He said, yes. How will you remember? He said, I will remember, but how? Will you sit in a corner, take beats and remember her name, repeat her name? He said, no, I will just remember. So he said, in the same way, repetition of name means remembering me. Just like when your wife goes away, you remember her and you would want that either she comes to you or you go to her. In the same way, you should remember me. This is the repetition of name. Finished? What do you say? Almost.
All right, just say
Anything? All right, Jai Baba David. Jai Baba.
I know what you can do.
You know our Kaka Baria, one of the mandali members, So Kaka Baria, he had got that urea, so his speech was not correct. And of course, he would come and sit there near Baba. I would press his feet, and he would come to me, with all action, and give me a hard slap, The correspondence would be there, the letters would be read out, but his concentration was on me. So he would just come like this, and he would give me a hard slap, and he would shake hand with Baba, that as if he did. So his every day it would happen. I would also enjoy. One day I said, I was not there. I was just with the mandali that side, He felt so restless that Baba said that you come here. He feels restless, So then later on,